Hi guys! So remember this tutorial where I dyed my wig jet black using the watercolor method? And I said, as you can see, everything is very much jet black except for the frontal because I did not want to take that risk. Maybe another time I'll experiment and actually dip the lace in there too, but today is just not that day. Not today, not this install, not today. Well, today's the day. We're doing that again, except this time I'm actually gonna dip the lace in the water. And I'm gonna show you how to do it properly without dyeing your lace, along with a plucking tutorial, styling, and of course the install.
I don't call it girlfriend, I just call it loving. We don't break up in the summer.
African bad girl giving them sugar. Tiny waist wild like cougar. Get the money, that's my slogan. Everything that connection.
The hair I'm going to be working with today is from Yolissa Hair. The package came with the hair, of course, a little scarf, an edge brush, lashes, a hair wrap with their logo on it, a wig cap, an elastic band, a silk bag for wig storage, and their company card. This is their Water Wave 13x4 HD lace frontal wig in 24 inches and 180% density. The lace looks great on this wig, and the hair is actually pretty long for 24 inches. The hair is really soft and very full, and it just looks really nice right out of the pack. I'm using my same Holy Grail jet black dye from Cream of Nature, and you're gonna need 3 boxes of dye to dye your wig. I'm in the bathroom now, and I'm mixing the dye, which is very easy. You just pour the color into the developer. So here's the hot water, and we're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes because that's how long we're gonna leave the hair in the dye water. So I stupidly forgot to record the most important part, but it's okay because I can just tell you guys how to do it.
So now I'm just going to be taking my Got to Be Glued freeze spray and spraying my lace. What we're doing is building a protective layer using the freeze spray. I like to spray at least 3 layers to make sure that, there's a nice amount of buildup on the lace closure. However, you can definitely spray more. So what I'm doing is just going in and spraying and then letting it dry in between so that I get that nice hard layer on top.
And then mix it very well and let the dye dissolve all the way into the hot water. So now we're dipping the hair in the dye, and I like to take my time when I do this. Go really slow and start dipping from bottom to top. I also like to brush the hair as I dip so that the dye can really penetrate the hair. For the first 5 minutes, don't dip the lace in just yet. Just continue to dip and brush the hair and try to avoid dipping the lace. But it's honestly okay if you dip the lace. I'm just saying not to for extra precautions, especially for a beginner. So once the timer hits the 5-minute mark, now you're gonna dip the lace into the water. Again, make sure to dip gradually. Once all the hair is in the water, we're gonna leave it in there for the rest of the 5 minutes. Once the 10 minutes are up, I'm just gonna take the hair out of the water, wash it and all of that stuff. And I'm also gonna bleach the knots. And I suggest bleaching the knots after dyeing it because if you bleach it before and then dip it in the water, the knots are gonna be black again. So just do it after. So moving on to plucking. Starting off, we're gonna tighten the elastic band in the wig so that it fits perfectly on the dome head. Next, fold the frontal in half and mark the middle just so we know where the middle is. So here's my dome head. It's a 22-inch and I'm putting a white paper towel on it because it will help us to see the knots and the hairline more clearly. Now I'm placing the wig on the dome head on top of the paper towel, and the very first thing I always do when I pluck a wig is press the frontal back with my hot comb. This is probably the best hack for plucking hair that I can share with you. If you're a beginner, this is a great hack because it'll help you stay organized and be able to see the hairline better. I'm parting out those first few rows of tiny baby hairs because those are already pretty small and separated, and as you can see from the hairline, it doesn't start to get thick till about the 7th row. We don't want to pluck those baby hairs, at least not yet, so we're going to concentrate on the 7th row and back to thin out those parts where it gets kind of thick. The first round of plucking is basically to thin out the hairline really fast, and I always do the sides first and go back and forth when plucking to make sure both sides are even or as close to even as they can get. Just move around so you don't thin out any areas too much. If you pluck 3 times in one spot, pluck 3 times in the next spot. So just try to be consistent with it and you shouldn't have any problems. Now moving on to the middle section, and again I'm parting out those baby hairs in the front, and for the middle section I don't like to pluck it too much because I don't do baby hairs in the middle, and the middle section of your hair is already naturally the thickest, so to mimic a natural hairline, that's what I like to do. Again, like I said, make sure to move around where you're plucking, and another thing you want to do is pay attention to the depth of your plucking. I'm not going to pluck super deep into the frontal because like I said, I want this front middle part to be a little thicker. You want it to have a natural gradient effect, so when you pluck, pay attention to that. The middle is done, now moving forward to the sides. Same thing, except I do pluck the sides just a little more, especially the part that's gonna lay on my temples. I pluck that part the most because your temples are usually naturally more thin, and that's also where I place my baby hairs, which you guys obviously know that baby hairs are usually thinner. I really didn't pluck this wig much because I wanted it to be a free part style and I wanted it to look really natural. So here's the finished look. Let's move on to the install. Starting off with some cotton rounds and rubbing alcohol, I'm going to clean the perimeters of my head. It's raining outside. I really hope you guys don't hear that. But I'm gonna clean the perimeters of my head just to get any oils or dead skin off so that I have a clean canvas to lay the wig and lay my glue. Showing y'all the hairline again because it looks so good. A purr. So I'm putting the wig on now just to make sure everything looks good, and I was obviously feeling myself. So this isn't my actual technique. I prefer cutting my lace before installing, but for the sake of making this beginner friendly, we're gonna cut the frontal into 3 sections to make things easier. So for glue, I'm using Ghost Bond, and this glue application was so messy, I'm actually embarrassed. I should have put on a bald cap too, but I think because I thought, oh, I'm bald, like I didn't really care about my hair at the moment because I knew I was gonna be shaving it again. So please just don't pay attention to me. I was also in a rush when I was doing this, so just, yeah. I did 3 layers of glue, and I also marked my head. As y'all can see, I have those lines on my head because I was so scared of making the install lopsided. Here's when the sections come in handy. You place the middle tab on first, and then you do either sides. Once the lace is placed on properly, I'm gonna melt it into my skin using a plastic rat tail comb. To melt the lace even more, I'm gonna lay it down with my silk scarf for at least 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna cut the lace, and I think we all know this by now, but when you cut the lace, you wanna do a jagged cut instead of cutting a straight line. This will help your lace blend better. If you want a detailed video on how to properly cut your lace, check this out. It was perfectly cut on both sides, so the pieces that I cut out literally match perfectly. Before I lay the baby hairs, I'm gonna glue down all the little pieces that didn't get glued down. Moving on to baby hairs, I did sideburns and temple baby hairs. When sectioning out the baby hairs, do it in a triangle shape. After pulling out the baby hairs, I'm gonna cut them and curl them using my flat iron. To lay the baby hairs, I use Eco Styler gel, and to keep the baby hairs in place and melt the lace a little more, I'm gonna spray the Fantasia Mega Hold Spritz and then wrap it again with my silk scarf. forgot to show the finished look on camera that day because I was going to a party this day and pretty much did this all in a rush. But I did take pictures at the party, so there's that. And of course, I always install my wigs more than once, so here's me reinstalling the wig.
Around in your high heel shoes, I'm clumsy. Made friends with the floor. 2 for 1, you know a bitch by 4. And 2 left feet, you know I always drop. First thing a girl did was a bop. And the whole damn cake and the cherry on top. Shook up the bottom, made a good girl pop. You ain't even here to party. Ken in the club tryna pipe a Barbie. I don't wanna go with the flow back then till I touch my toes. I don't wanna row the boat. Wrist full of rocks and I hope I float. Big up yourself cause you know they don't. I choo cause they hope I show. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. On the after, you've been the before. I've been the stallion, you've been the seahorse. Don't need a report, don't need a press run. All of my bad pics been all my best ones. I wear the hat and I wear the pants. I am advanced, so I get advanced. And I do my dance and cancel the plans. Said, boo, don't be mad cause you had a chance. Said I took it and I ran for it. I won it, then I stand on it. Money on the floor when we dance on it. Shine bright, but I put a tan on it. Said I took it and I ran for it. I won it, then I stand on it. Money on the floor when we dance on it. Shine bright, but I put a tan on it. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. And a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass.
I don't call it cuffing, I just call it loving. We don't break up in the summer.
So that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up, leave a nice comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you to Yolissa Hair for sponsoring this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!